This will include the largest ever rollout of live facial recognition technologies across England and Wales. In London, in just 2 years, the Metropolitan Police have made 1,700 arrests.
1,700 arrests in London using facial recognition. Over a period of 2 years, that's 2 arrests per day. When politicians use statistics to appease the public, they rely on the fact that the logical circuits in people's brains are not really working very well anymore. I sometimes wonder if people even have logical circuits in their brains at all anymore, or if parts of their brains have atrophied away like an unused muscle. Or maybe, like a horse, they've got so used to somebody sitting on their back and dictating their direction, they no longer even notice the spurs when they jab in. 1,700 arrests using facial recognition. Okay, but arrest doesn't mean you get charged, and getting charged doesn't mean you get convicted, and getting convicted doesn't mean you go to prison. It would be much more transparent to announce how many convictions leading to imprisonment were gained using facial recognition, but I guess that statistic is not impressive enough. That soundbite wouldn't properly serve the agenda when repeated on national television. But I don't really think solving crime is the real purpose of this announcement from the Home Office. Never mind live facial recognition, the police have been using retrospective facial recognition for years on end like it's the Wild West, and without any transparency at all. And instead of limiting these superpowers and making themselves accountable to the public, they are instead shielding it under the cover of a nationwide rollout and a new federated police force. And if your logical circuits are really working properly, then you'll start to see that live facial recognition vans, they're really just a prop, something for people to point at. It's like a deflective shield to disguise the really juicy stuff that they're doing behind the scenes.
When people repeatedly heard about 1,700 arrests on the evening news, what they really heard was an advert for a private company called NEC Software Solutions UK. That's the main provider of facial recognition technology to the police force, and the company that will profit from this nationwide expansion. The hook for the advert is that without the use of their software, there would be thousands more criminals roaming the streets. In psychology and advertising, that's called fear appeal, using fear to sell a product or idea. The message of fear is that the police are failing and they're putting us in terrible danger, and that the brain drain in the police force due to lowering their standards for recruitment and training is so severe that they're no longer able to be effective in the very basics of their role.
Imagine you hired a translator, and when they actually got into the job, you realised that they couldn't understand foreign languages at all. In fact, they were just using an app. Well, at that point you have 2 options. Option 1, fire them and hire somebody who actually has talent. Option 2, fire them and hire a cheap imbecile who knows absolutely nothing about anything but can at least click a few buttons on a computer screen. The government are going full sail into option 2. Replace the expensive, talented people who have the ability to judge nuance and context, and replace them with button-pushing imbeciles who really have no idea about the principles of real policing. They say the use of artificial intelligence in policing will not replace human judgment. But that's really missing the point entirely. The use of artificial intelligence in policing will make human judgment atrophy, like an unused muscle. There is no need for faltering human judgment in their brave new world. You don't need to judge anything when you have a digital crystal ball.
Palantir, the crystal ball from the Lord of the Rings that allows you to see anything occurring in the world, past, present, or future. An ominous name for an American software company that already has its fingers in the nervous system of the UK. Recently the controversies with the NHS, but for many years they've been with the Ministry of Defence, the Cabinet Office, the Home Office, the Department of Transport, the Department of Education, and now the police force. Most of them use a platform called Palantir Foundry, which takes all their existing databases and creates link chains between information. So you can click on some data held in one database and it will dynamically show you the links to other information. The police will be using Foundry as an operating system, but also under a trial called Operation Nectar. They've been using Gotham, and Gotham is on a whole different level. Gotham was built for war zones, designed to stitch together all the messy, unstructured intelligence like phone calls, location data, financial transactions, browsing history, political beliefs, known associates, and use that to help target foreign combatants. But also it tries to predict their behaviour. It gives a probability score to an individual to show how likely they are to do something bad. But crucially, it tries to predict the likelihood of what they will do, where, and when. Literally like a crystal ball. And this military-grade bad person prediction tool is now going to be used on you.
They're not going to let you know that they're routinely processing your personal data to aid their investigations. They're not going to let you know that your chance of committing a serious crime has gone up from 12% to 27%, and the likely area will be Peterborough Cathedral Square next Saturday night. You may not even realise that for whatever reason your chance of committing a crime has gone up, but they will know, or rather the machine will know. How about the chance of you breaching the peace at a protest next Saturday based on an AI assessment of your political beliefs, your geographic location, and your drinking habits? How high does this probability score have to get before they actually come around your house and attempt to arrest you for something that you didn't even know you were going to do next week? These are the questions they're going to be asking themselves. That's what the trials are for. Of course, yes, they will repeat on the television that it's only for very serious organised crime. But of course, that's how they get their foot in the door. That's how they jab at you with their spurs.